Hello everyone, Dr. John Bartemus here today with Functional Medicine Charlotte client Mark, and Mark wanted to share his story with you. So Mark, why did you first seek out functional medicine care?
Biggest reason was that all the medical care that I was getting was not addressing the actual problem of what was going wrong with my body. I was losing control of just about every aspect of living in life.
And so what labels had they given you for that?
Well, I was a type 2 diabetic, so I started suffering from hypertension. It's just, everything they wanted to do was just pharmaceutically based, not trying to find out what was actually causing the problems.
Okay. And so in working with Functional Medicine Charlotte, how was the experience here different from what you'd had with conventional medicine?
Probably from the biggest standpoint would be the educational side of it. I mean, it's like when you look at your blood tests, the labs that you have done, most of the medical doctors, and I'm saying all of them that I've had experience with, and they're good folks, but they would gloss over it as quickly as possible and just hit the high spots and never really dig down. They wouldn't look at the cause and effect. One of the biggest things that I never even knew about was the ApoB side of the cholesterol side of it. For them, it was like we had a conversation that, I have my gas range at the house has a leak, so I better start taking a statin to fix that. It has nothing to do with the cholesterol side of it. They said you need to take it anyways. Your knee is hurt. You need to take the statin. And you took the time to really go through, and it's a comprehensive. I've never had a comprehensive lab work done the way that you went through, and you found so many things on body that was going on inside my body that it was a regular, what show, and without being colorful with my words.
Yeah, well, he said was, right?
Was is the important part.
So after we looked under your hood and created that individualized and specific plan for you, where did that bleep show? Where does it stand now? How are you doing now from a health perspective?
Well, it's like a 180 degrees completely different. I feel a whole lot better every day when I woke up. So basically what I thought was normal is abnormal, because I've actually tested it to see, and going back to the ways I did things before, and the effect that I have the next day from doing that tells me that everything that you have done and were helping me with and guiding me through was valid and was truth-based, because I lived it. I lived the results of saying, okay, I'm gonna try this, and that was not a good idea.
And you get the props for actually implementing, right? Because the education is nice, but if you don't go do, nothing changes. And so Mark has implemented at a high level to the point where now previous labels no longer apply. So you want to share how your labels have changed?
Well, let's just say from a diabetic, my A1C when I first came in, what was I? I was almost 8.
You were 8, yeah.
I was 8, which is not good. We just retested, and I'm at 6.
Yeah,
and
which no longer fits a type 2 diabetes diagnosis.
Exactly, and it was the easiest thing that I've ever done before in my life, and it was eye-opening for sure as to what it was, how it happened.
And 2 drugs hadn't done that for you.
Actually, 3.
3, yeah, you're right.
Actually, 3.
So, if there was someone out there on the fence, just like, hey, I've heard of it, but should I do it? How would you encourage them?
I would encourage them from a standpoint from a longevity standpoint, what quality of life, and that was the thing that drives me in everything I do, is the quality of life as I get older. I remember that commercial years ago about that supplement drink that's not going to add years to your life, but it's going to add life to your years. And that's what this has done. It's added life to my years, because I'm physically active in the gym, outside of the gym as much as possible, even though I have a sedentary job. It's one of those situations where you have opened up, from the educational standpoint, a whole new world for me to look at things differently. And some of the stuff you talked to me about, I had no idea even existed. So that now I do know, and it's caused me to continue on that quest for that knowledge base to be able to build upon what you help with, and I can say this was a 12-week program where I had to live through that 12 weeks anyways. So why not do it? That's going to make a difference. And moving forward, my whole idea was this is not going to be just a 12-week program for me, especially from a weight loss standpoint, because I've lost a considerable amount of weight. The most important number for me was the visceral fat that I've lost, and I want to continue to do that. But I looked at this as a year or more to be able to get to the goal that I have in my mind. And not just 12 weeks, I'm great, now I can go back to doing things the way I was, and that's just not the way I want to do it anymore.
Yeah, you're on the journey.
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
Well, keep it up. I say all the time, our goal is for me to help whoever I get the opportunity to work with achieve that life at optimal. And where you are today is very optimal compared to where you were, but each day you get closer. So keep up the great work.
Thank
and
you.
if you're out there and you want to replicate what Mark has done, then reach out at functionalmedicinecharlotte.com.